Yeah. Sounds amazing.
I do television on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So
Yeah.
Is there a cough button? Do we have that?
Well, a very big welcome to Montreal and to the very first Montreal Grand Prix, Judo Grand Prix in history. So we are here looking forward to some great judo. Obviously, we are well in to the Olympic qualification stages, and so we have certain athletes that are here for Olympic qualification points. Some really out to prove that they can go to the Olympic Games, and obviously for preparation for those Olympic Games. We, in a second, are going to go through some of the weight categories, see what fights we've got in store. Remember that this is the preliminary rounds, and tonight we've got all of the medal rounds starting at 5 o'clock local time here in Montreal. And I got to say, what a beautiful city it is. And so far, I mean, I've been looking around the city, and of course, it's not only is it a very special city and a very special place, but the people here are wonderful as well. I am really, really lucky that I am joined here by Anthony Corelli, very dear friend, and also, as all of you know, a former world team member for Canada, and he's going to be here taking us through and helping me all day. So, Anthony, welcome.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's an honor and a privilege. This is a historic event, the first Grand Prix in Canada. Montreal has a rich history of judo in Canada. The national team trains here, and it's a wonderful city. And I mean, the venue looks fantastic. The people are starting to file in. There's an energy in the air here, and it's just really fun to be a part of it.
The energy you can feel immediately when we walked in today, and I know that there's a lot of people just a little bit nervous because it's the first one here. But what does it mean to have something like this on home ground?
Well, one of the opportunities that it provides is some of the people that wouldn't have been sent overseas due to financial restrictions. They're able to come here. So there's a couple Canadian juniors that are going to be able to taste some international competition. And judo being such an international sport, this is the perfect city. It's a very multicultural city. It's very international. And it just fits perfectly with judo.
Yeah, well, like you were just saying there, the big advantage that we have of having something like this on home ground is that you can put 4 fighters into each weight category. 4 fighters, which means that you're ones that are trying to qualify for the Olympic Games, and of course the juniors as well. So you've, like you just said there, you've got some juniors that are in here, and they are going to be up there against some of the best in the world, and those kind of opportunities don't come easy, do they?
Yeah, because there's that intangible element. Well, how is this person going to do on a big stage? You can be a world champion at practice, but how do you do? We talked earlier about the Olympic tunnel syndrome, and some people choke, and some people rise to the occasion, and this is going to be an excellent opportunity to see which one of those each fighter is.
Yeah, and those experiences will be taken with them. What we're going to do with 5 minutes before we go on air here, and so what we're going to do is just have a quick run through some of the people that are here. We've got 5 weight categories being contested today, and we're going to start with the under 48 kilograms category for ladies. And I can tell you now that we're lucky. We haven't got the great Billadid, who's not here because she was at the European Championships last week, and so she's opted out of this. But we've got the Olympic champion, Pareto, at the top there. All right, so like we just said, right, Olympic champions, world champions, they're going to be here. Not everywhere, not every weight category, but they are here. And of course, we've got the great Teddy Riner, and that's heavyweight. That's going to be the last day. That's going to be something special.
Yeah, everybody's talking about that one.
Well, and everybody should as well, because it's his first one back, and of course he's got a chance. He wants to go and win his third Olympic gold medal, and so he needs to get a training run in before the World Championships. Whether he's going to do the World Championships, let's hope he is, but only time will tell. Pareto, main opposition, just looking down, of course, we've got all the Canadians in there. We've got Shira Rishoni, who's down in Pool D. They won't meet till the final if they get that far, of course. And Rishoni is a regular medal winner in the Grand Prix and Grand Slams. We'll go on to the under 52 kilograms category. We've got another Olympic champion, former Olympic champion, but at 48 kilograms, she's now in the higher weight category. Sarah Menace of Brazil. Remember that Sarah Menace, I remember when she first came onto the scene, I mean, she is a class act. She's on her third Olympic cycle, and this is kind of her last show, I think, for an Olympic gold medal. And, to go to the Olympics, she'd like to end on an Olympic medal, but pure class in there, and she's hoping that she's going to be able to qualify, but she's got plenty of opposition all the way along there. She's got Jeong Ki-young of Korea, who's on the same quarter, so that should be a good semi-final. And then what about the Canadians down the bottom there? We've got Marie Besson and Taya Kaliaska of Canada, and again, like you said, some youngsters in there.
Yeah, I mean, what an ego boost to realize that you're competing in a tournament along with Olympic champions. Just to associate yourself on that level is great for the psyche.
Yeah. Under 57 kilos, because I'm going to ask you about this one now, because obviously we've got Krista Deguchi of Canada there. She's the number 1 seed. She's coming through. Jessica Klimket, which is going to be on the other side, they're going to meet in the final. Between those two, who's going to go to the Olympic Games? How will they make that decision?
Man, I know Krista Deguchi is 4-0 against Klimket. I mean, is one career rising, and where do they intersect? Unfortunately, only one can go. Both would represent well. That's the hard part sometimes.
It's the hard part, bit difficult decision for the Canadian team to have to make, but they'll have to make it in the end, I'm sure. But either one of those that goes to the Olympic Games, I think will have a good chance of being up there for the medals. But of course, they've got Nelson Levy of Israel down the bottom there that will be contesting the medals. 66 kilos category for men. Kurlan Gambo, for me, the favourite. He's up there, and he's world ranked number, did we say 10?
10, I believe.
World ranked number 10, and he's going to be Kenneth van Gansbeek of Belgium, who's down the bottom of that pool. He's going to be very difficult to beat, as is Nathan Burns, who's going to be on the same side. And so a good 66 kilos category. And then we've got, just to finish off now, the under 60 kilos category. Mishva Abadzi of Russia is the world number 1. Why send the world number 1 to an event like this just prior to the World Championships? Well, we can only speculate, can't we, that it's just to get the experience and to get a match under his belt.
Some fine-tuning.
Fine-tuning, get him ready for it. And the interesting thing is, the world champion, Takata Nahasi of Japan, is down the bottom half there, and they've sent him out for the same reasons. So an explosive 60 kilos category just about to unfold. And we are going to start, I can tell you now, we are going to start in the under 66 kilos category. And it's going to be the first match up with Kurlan Gambold of Mongolia, and he's going to be against Michael Marcelino of Brazil, and that's going to be our first match. And this is the under 66 kilos, and I'm just looking forward to it. We're going to have a blast.
Yeah, I love starting with some of the lighter categories. They're so fast, they're so strong. It's an excellent way to set the pace for the entire weekend.
So here we are, and first match up, Kurlan Gambold of Mongolia. He's going to be wearing white. Michael Marcelino of Brazil is wearing blue, and we're going to take you right the way through the action.
A little bit of a false start there. I was getting excited. I don't know about you, but I get butterflies in my stomach when guys get out there.
We're still there, aren't we? But,
Yeah.
and that's the amazing thing is that I'm the same as you. I still live it, and I'm still out there with them. And I know Kerlan Gambold well. Really, I was out there in Mongolia at their national centre, and all the guys, all young, really good guys, and they train like you cannot believe.
Mongolian judo, even Mongolian amateur wrestling, they're very strong and explosive and dynamic and incredible athletes. They always put out incredible athletes.
Well, he can come from different angles, Gambold, and he will do. But a lot of his techniques come off the sleeves for the Sodi Surikamis, but just like all of you were on about the Mongolian wrestling, they're very unorthodox with their grips. They're coming off different grips, and so we'll be interested to see what he does, what unfolds here.
A little cautious in the beginning during Kumikata. I don't blame them at all. Both guys are very explosive and very strong. We're going to get some passivity penalties here.
Yeah, the whole idea, of course, with the passivities is just to rev them up, just get them going. And we're talking a lot to the referees, and the big thing, the big key word is intention to throw, so that when they're gripping up, and you can see there that he has every intention there.
Wow. You can see the difference in the decision. One is playing around. This time, I'm coming in to throw and pick you up.
No, exactly. It's all about intention, and he can throw different angles there. And it's always this Mongolian style of wrestling where they're coming around the back there. Oh, look at that.
Whoa, that was sudden.
So what's Harry scored then? Gambold opens up the account there. That's Sakeshi there. Marcelino just came in for the Uchimata and committed, but gets taken over onto his side.
And transitioning to the ground. Oh, that's going to go. Oh, man. Oh, he tapped. Yep, he got the arm out. We couldn't see from that vantage point, but it looked like the way he was holding his hand, that wasn't the strongest grip to prevent that. Oh, maybe an injury too. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, good start then. An Ippon start to the day. Gambold there. Great transition down into Newaza. And, well, the score first of all, and then I'm not sure if we're going to have some slow motion back. I think we might have some slow motion back so we can talk over it, and I know for sure we're going to have it tonight.
My favorite part about slow motion is seeing that initial moment, that moment of timing that's required. I love it.
Well, the other big thing that the referees have been ordered to incorporate, you could say, is with the transition, so that we see a lot more transition through, more time in Newaza. If it's developing and if it's a possibility of an Ippon, they'll let it carry on.
Yeah, I find even in training sometimes we seem to separate the Newaza and the Tachiwaza, but that transition, that link between the two is critical.
Yes.
Ryan Vargas from the United States in the white gi, with Julien Franscadore from Canada. Here we go in the blue gi. And these guys are going at it right away. Excellent kumikata. They're coming out a little faster than the previous match.
Well, we know that Vargas has really good transition. He's a jiu-jitsu guy, and he has some really nice newaza. He's more predominantly newaza. He can throw as well. And saw him first time about 2.5 years ago, and I thought a lot of potential here with Vargas. Yeah, really has some really good newaza.
It's interesting, the guys that are really good at newaza, they often develop attacks to get to newaza, and it's tricky because you can't get a false attack. So it has to be a legitimate attack with the intention of going to newaza. So it's an interesting situation.
Yeah, it's, I think, the most important thing for the transition is, anything sacrifice is always going to be potentially a penalty, right? So we know that. Normally let him get away with it once, and then he'll jump on him the second time if he does that, especially if they don't break the balance. So breaking the balance, really important.
Now, I was just going to mention before he did it, Tomonagi, a very popular technique to get to the ground if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, but what they're doing now, I tell you, because obviously they know that, but a lot of the sacrifice stuff is being done to fill in the gaps if they feel that they've got to attack. And so the referee will be on it if it's not, if they don't break the balance. And especially with an Newaza guy, like you said, you know, because they were just dropping, going for the Juji and stuff like that.
Yeah, you might as well go for a score. Lefty versus righty. Classic gripping contest. And there's that Tomonagi.
So tell us what makes it difficult, left against right. Because, I mean, it is, we see it so often, don't we, that we have an opposite stance. For me, it was always sleeve, trying to catch the sleeve, you know, so I always tried to go sleeve first if it was against an opposite, which is quite interesting, isn't it? Because a lot of people will automatically go lapel first and then look for the sleeve.
Yeah.
And so if I was fighting an opposite, I'd always try and posture to catch the sleeve first and bring it back in. Which was
with a cross grip pull in or go right for it?
Well, just sometimes if you change the angle of approach, then you can catch it, you know. So we're in the commentary booth already going through the paces here. We're going to stand up in a second. Me and Anthony. So 2 Shidos up there to Vargas, and I think one of the things is about pace. This is about pace and getting on the pace.
Yeah, I noticed since the reduction of match time to 4 minutes, a lot of guys and girls feel a little more confident with pushing the pace because they don't have to maintain it for that extra minute.
Yeah, Frascador, we haven't mentioned him yet, and he's doing well with it.
Wow, that was a nice attempt, but put himself in a little danger. Yeah, now 2 penalties for Ryan Vargas.
Yeah, he's just that little bit off the pace and just behind, and Frascador just managing to hold off, but it's definitely Vargas that is being the one that's taking the initiative here.
Whoop.
That's going to be a penalty. Well, he should have just left him there, because one thing you can't do is attack with no hands.
Well, he is really digging in for that Jujigatami.
This is very strong.
No, it doesn't have it. You know someone's good in Newaza when you know what they're doing, they know you know what they're doing, and they're still going for it and almost getting it.
Yeah. So for you, was it Newaza, Tachiwaza, which was the preference for you?
I pinned a lot. I did a lot of pins, yeah.
So you worked out your transition down, you know, for your specific techniques. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I had my Tachiwaza throws, but somehow I ended up pinning people. I had this one technique, I believe it's called Teppo Gaeshi, rifle turnover, where I would kind of let people believe they're getting me, and put myself in a position to when, in order for them to pin me, they had to step over the leg, and as they did, I would catch them, and it was entertaining for some people because it was this trap I would set, and
it's called treachery.
Yeah, and the amount of people that fell for it, it was comical.
Excellent. Well, Vargas just lost that, so 3 penalties up for Vargas. Frascador of Canada goes through to the quarterfinal stages. And remember that you have to reach the quarterfinal stages to have any chance of winning a medal at all. So at the quarterfinal stage, you will have a chance, if you lose at that stage, to come through for a repechage final fight. If you get through to the semi-finals, you fight to get to the final, or you come back down and you fight the opposite side for a bronze medal. But we'll explain that in more detail as we get to it.
Yeah, that's a significant first round. I mean, I believe Vargas is done for the day.
Yeah, it's all over, and Frascador now goes through with a chance.
A chance to get a medal.
Yeah. So next fight up, we'll stay on here just for this one. We've got Nathan Burns of Ireland here against Gerard Cadet of Haiti. Burns just came off the, got to the semi-final last week in the European Championships, into the quarterfinal, stages, and just lost to get to the semi-finals. So he had some really excellent judo, and his club, Camberley Judo Club, back in the UK, they'll all be watching this with great interest. They're great supporters, and he's got some great sponsors, Nathan.
Yeah, again, we seem to have a righty versus a lefty. And Nathan looks like he's also a big fan of Newaza, based on that last exchange.
Yeah, he's got some really good Cienegis as well, and I think that once he settles, we were talking, weren't we, about the first fight in. Always looks, I think the first round is always just that little bit scrappy, and I think a lot of that is down to the warm-up and the importance of the warm-up.
The warm-up and then I guess weigh-ins were the day before, so they don't have that. Sometimes when the weigh-ins the day of, it can pose a problem with overeating or over-rehydrating immediately after.
Well, you were saying that, weren't you? You said that sometimes you took on too much too soon.
Yeah, if I had to drop a little bit of weight on the day of, and I would try and compensate and drink some liquids, and all of a sudden you had that fishbowl.
Yes, horrible feeling, isn't it? Horrible.
Woo, that's deep. Oh, it hooked the hooks in. Wow.
Yeah, it's what he does, and he'll find the way in with this because it's him taking the initiative, and he's going to come round there. If he can tie up the top half now, get that leg out, it's going to be all over. Can he get the leg out?
One leg left to get out. He has his arm pinned down there. No. Oh, he's very clinical. Oh, beautiful.
So a nice bit of Newaza there from Nathan Burns.
And he's keeping his legs away from his legs, from Gerard's legs, and holding with his hand. That's tight. That's very tight. His shoulders tied up nice and tight. And I think Gerard is starting to realize that this is not going to end well. He's tapping out. I noticed last year when I did a couple of appearances as well, some guys tapping from hold downs when they realize there's no chance of getting out.
I never understood that. I can't get that at all. It'd have to be to the last second for me. Just that's not my mentality.
If I have a pulse, I'm trying to get out.
That's for sure.
Now
we've got it. So we're going to have some replays, so that's nice. And so that's Sodi Surakomigoshi there, just setting it up for Nathan Burns. Ties up the top half and does it nicely with his own jacket. Just takes his own jacket round to tie that shoulder up, and that was actually the key to the hold down.
That was when he rotates out here. It was that arm and that shoulder, right there, that kept it in. Very nice. I have to remember that. And I fight the 10-year-olds at my club.
See, yeah, it's good. I was going to say, it is a memory for me.
Jacob Valois in the white gi with Nakano Shugen. Oh, wow. In the Philippines. We see some Japanese heritage there.
It's interesting. We got some. I don't think we're going to have a lot of Europeans. We got one or two all over the different categories, but not an awful lot of Europeans. Some of them opting for the European Championships, European Games last week.
Yeah, the notion of load management is very interesting in terms of how many competitions, how close should they be together to maintain optimal performance.
And also expense, because it's expensive for you guys to come over into Europe. You'd have to do a tour, wouldn't you? Do so many events to make it worthwhile, cost-wise. And then same if people are going to come over to here, for the Europeans to come over. To each event, really expensive, and if you go out first round, second round, it can be soul destroying actually for some of the athletes.
Yeah, Canada being such a large country, sometimes it's difficult just for teammates to get together if one's on the other end of the country. And I remember when I was younger talking to some fighters from the Swiss team, and they would jump in a van or bus type thing. And, within hours, they're in several different countries, and they can fight several different teams. We have to get on a plane and fly 5 hours to go to British Columbia, and it's geography sometimes is a bit of a challenge.
Well, I don't think people realize how big Canada is, do they? They really don't, when it comes to the geography of it all.
Man, flying, and that's from Toronto, flying from the East Coast to the West Coast, it has to be several hours.
Yeah. So nice Wazari there, scored. Valois of Canada. Goes a Wazari up, drops Cianagi.
Digging for that, looks like for a choke.
I think he's going to try for that hold down now. Can he tie up the top half? And it's one of the things that he's looking for the hold down there. It's not quite secured. The referee won't call it until a little bit more control on the upper part of the body.
Yeah, that's interesting because he is exposed. His back is exposed to the mat, but it's not quite
well,
controlled.
they say if you can't name it.
That's
yeah, it's a good. If you can't name the hold down, then what. And it's the same with throw. Sometimes you've got to be able to name it.
Oh, there he goes for the juji. That's pretty. His arms are through there. He can really pull on that. Hopefully separate the grip.
I thought you were going to say separate the arm then.
Oh, it's
on the
right
way
there.
out.
It's right there. Excellent fight from Nakano to hold that, but wow.
Well, how he got out of that, we don't know, but there's the Cianagi that starts the whole movement, and then the transition straight back up there, pops the head back up, ready to go.
Yeah, fully committed and driving with the legs. I love that instinct to drive.
Well, that's what makes the difference, isn't it? The support leg and the continuation of the movement, of course, which is the reason that it scores.
Wow. Oh, that might be a score.
It's going to be
it. It is.
So that's the second Wazari. Second Wazari then goes to Valois, and that will take him through.
Yeah. Wow. That was out of nowhere. I was looking for something else, and that was a nice surprise.
So listen, I'm not gonna make a comment about it, but your opinion of the Wazari and where it's at the moment, because I think a lot of people don't really. They think of the old Wazari, and of course the new Wazari is incorporating the old Yuko, so it's slightly different. But your views on it?
Yeah, now we have the possibility for 2 former Yukos to equal the Nippon, and that's the only negative side. It
kind of sticks, doesn't it? I'm the same. It sticks in my throat a little bit, and I just sometimes when it decides major tournaments, I look at it, but they'll have another review of it. I think that basically it's better that we don't have as many golden scores. We're having too many golden scores, so for that reason I think that's a good thing. But I think it's with all rules, there's always small things sometimes that we need to look at.
When it comes to introducing judo to someone that is not familiar with judo, less scores are better, less things to learn. You had to learn a word koka, and how do you explain that? Minor advantage. People like numbers.
Yeah, and then all the penalties, the kaikokushidos, this, and the other, and it was complicated. And funny thing is that I was commentating karate at the European Games, and they still have a multitude of penalties, this, that, and the other, and I was confused. When I was commentating it, I was confused, and I'm very quick to catch on at things like that. And so I thought, we're definitely on the right track. We've simplified it, made it easier for people to understand. What we're going to do, let's go down to mat number 3 if we can, guys, and just have a look at the under 48 kilograms category, just so that we can just get used to coming and just have a look, see what's happening on one of the other mats. Aziza Chakir of Mauritius here is against Virginia Nemeth of Canada, and now it's Chakir on the attack with Juji Gatami.
Yeah, I don't think this one's going to develop much further than this.
No, I always want to get in there. And, obviously it was my
technique.
technique.
That's actually a choke.
Oh, it is a choke. Yes. Can she get the leverage? She might just. That's
underneath.
On
there.
Yeah.
And that could just. Oh, she's out.
She's
oh,
out.
Gosh. Oh, you know what? That moment there, she went limp for a second, which made the referee I don't know if that's a tactic, because it's actually a good tactic.
No, so, you know, what we've got here now is a situation, and the referees have been told to look out for this. There's nothing worse than watching somebody go unconscious. Obviously, we don't want to see that, but we saw it, didn't we, there? That was definitely borderline. If I was the referee, I would stay with the ippon there, and because we've got to think about safety reasons, you know. She might say she didn't submit, but maybe she couldn't.
Yeah, it's funny because at no point when defending a choke is going limp a method used. So
no, exactly.
Here you can very clearly see here coming up soon where it appears that she went limp, and that's obviously safety first.
Well, they've given the ippon, and quite rightly so too. I believe that there was a moment there when it was just getting into the realms of unsafe, and the referee was right on it. Chapter goes through then to the next round, and she will be fighting Costa of Portugal. So let's stay on this mat, and we're going to now, I think, yes, Shira Rishoni. So Rishoni is the number 2 seed at this tournament. She's going to be up against Lee Hyung-yong of Korea, and this is going to be a belter because Rishoni's won on form, but she's got a really tough match first one up. Rishoni in white.
Very good grips. This is some high level. Wow, right, nice attacks, nice grips. They look strong, excellent. I'm a big fan of posture when people are gripping, and that's very nice.
Well, I think that is one of the great things that's happened since the no gripping of the legs, and you know, I think the posturing has made a massive difference. You know, and last week I did the Greco-Roman and the freestyle at these European Games, and actually the difference in the posturing because and the actual stance was incredible. Freestyle was really bent over, and the Greco was very upright. A lot more throws in the Greco, you know. So it was very interesting to see.
The freestyle, sometimes it looks like they're crawling.
It really, absolutely. And I mean, you I was going to say wrestling background, but you know, don't you? You know, it's if you allow the leg pick, then you get people diving for the legs. I like it like it is. That's my opinion. There's some judo royalists out there will be going, well, you know, we still want the leg picks back, and we want the leg grabs back.
Yeah, I mean, in an ideal world, maybe a single leg attack would be nice, but it definitely contributes to excellent posture.
Yes. So one Shido each on the board, Rishoni and Lee, and this is a real tough one.
Ooh.
Remember that they have to get through this. One of these is not going to progress into the medal rounds.
Here's another technique I'm seeing: when you reach underneath, grab the gi, now use that as a lever to actually turn them over. Here she is, pulling all her body weight. She's going to pull, and wow. She pulled her over, but she has to control the head. There it is. Can she hold her? Can she avoid her legs from recapturing that leg? Oh.
That was really close, wasn't it? It was very, very close. Nice bit of newaza there.
Nice struggle.
We used to call it the pinewood roll, and it's the belt underneath there that controls the waist, and then they climb on top, of course, for the tatashio. But almost. Rishoni getting closer and closer, but still with one Shido on the board each.
Yeah, so far I'm seeing a lot of left-handed fighters versus right-handed fighters. These guys are the same.
Well, extremely left-handed, the Korean, and looking for the Uchimata all the time. Wow. But that's it, it's all over.
Beautiful.
Well, what's mate called? That's what you got to say. So,
and to top it off, she gets a penalty. That was a beautiful penetration.
Yeah, not quite sure what happened there, but obviously something happened. Rishoni's not fighting it, and normally Shani, the Israeli coach that sat there, would be going absolutely crazy. But anyway, she's got to do it again with Rishoni, and she has to be careful because we're into the last minute. One more penalty, and she'll lose this.
So If the technique is initiated before an audible mate, it counts. Is that correct?
If it's, yes, absolutely. Before an audible mate, definitely counts. If it starts inside the area, goes outside the area, it will count. If it 2 feet come outside the area and then you attack, not allowed. So it won't be counted. So 2 Shidos each.
2 Shidos apiece. This adds some pressure to an already exciting fight. Contest. You know, you corrected yourself there, but it's a fight contest, and we were talking about game as well, because sometimes we say they're playing a game, and sometimes the judo I always feel is game. When it comes to the gamesmanship of playing the tactics and stuff like that, and I don't think any of them are wrong. I don't. If it's done in the right context, I think it is. It's they're fighting sport, but it's a game as well. It's funny because there's multiple ways to perceive yourself. When I was younger, I thought I was a martial artist. Yes. Then I found out I was an athlete.
Yes.
And then I was a fighter. And then I found out I was a player.
But so play is the other one, isn't it? You go player. Am I a judo player? But if you play the game, then you are. Yeah. So I think, like I say, if it's said in the right context, then it's okay.
Yeah, also it depends on mindset. If I'm in my mind, I'm coming out for a fight, then I'm a fighter.
Yeah, no. Well, sometimes you get hold of somebody and it's game on, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a fight.
Yeah, some of those grips can make their way to your face.
Yeah. So Rashoni here scores a wazari, and she gets the wazari. She must have just gone onto her side there, upper part of the torso, hitting the mat, and Rashoni is going to go through. Now, I'm not sure whether they're going to review that. They might review it. Yeah, so they're going to review it, and the video referee. So what happens is the 2 judges at the side are working with the referee, and then just off at the central part of the table is the actual video analysis team.
Here it is.
So they're having a look at this now. Have a look at the landing. See where. No, for me it wasn't. I think they'll wave it off, and they won't count it. She was too far over onto her front. If her side touches, the side part of the torso touches, then they'll count it. But I think that she turned out. It won't be counted.
Yeah, it's taken off, and there are still continuing golden score. Oh,
that's it. That's definitely a score. So Rashoni will go through.
Wow, yeah, sometimes, yeah, the speed at which she rotated and exposed her back wasn't there enough for any pun, but enough for a score. And in golden score, that's all she wrote.
Yeah, it's all she needed. She was on top, wasn't she? I mean, she threw for an ippon, and then an almost wazari, and then an actual wazari. So well on top against this young Korean.
Yeah, I mean, if it went the other way and the Korean player won, it would be almost not undeserving, but I think she dominated.
Against the run of play, that's for sure. So big surigoshi there. Look at the grip, and that's surigoshi managing to just secure the win for Rashoni. So Rashoni going through to the medal matches.
Good for all those kids watching out there. Basics win fights.
The next one up then, Centurk of Turkey out in white, and Kimberly Renix of Great Britain in blue.
Yeah, 2 tall fighters here. Very, I don't want to say lanky, that sounds kind of bad, but tall, let's say tall.
Well, certainly Miss Billow did. I mean, she is, for under 48 kilograms, she's extremely tall and rangy.
When she's on the podium, she's a full head above everybody else.
It's amazing. And such good balance. We were talking about what makes her special, and she is the current world champion, junior and senior. And she's only, she has 1 defeat I've seen in 2 years, which was, because of a minor score, and also she was coming back. But that's close, isn't it? She was close there.
It's interesting. A lot of sports, they seem to either create a body type or attract a body type, and she's the anomaly.
Yes.
And the first time I saw her go out and fight, I thought this poor little girl's going to get killed.
Yeah.
And she is a monster.
Well, and you've got to imagine that everybody trying to disappear underneath her for the Seanagis, but she has such good balance, and so that's what it's about, isn't it? A lot of it is about posturing and balance. You said you're a big supporter of posture, and that's, she's got it in spades.
Yeah, one thing I like she does is that very dynamic ochi where she travels such distance when she explodes into it. It's incredible.
So Sen-Turk has been closest here with a score, and one penalty up there to Renix.
If Sen-Turk can control the arms of Renix, I think she could finish that Tomonagi. But grabbing the two lapels, she's able to post and stop the momentum.
Now I think Renix got the measure of that. She'll have to be careful, and there is the penalty. So Sen-Turk gets it. One or two times.
Nice grip there. They have the same grip. And I was reading somewhere that statistically the most successful grip was a belt grip in the last Olympics, which makes sense. It's quite stable.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of the wrestling styles that are coming in, I mean, you take the Mongolian style of wrestling, for example, no sleeves on the jackets, so the obvious place to hold is either around the back. That's why a lot of them come and they hold round the back or over the top, and then a lot of them go for the belt grips because that's all they've got to grip hold of. So it's interesting. A lot of the styles of fighting within the country will help develop what happens out there.
Yeah, if it's a sport that is specific to that country, a traditional sport.
Yeah. There's the score, Wazari, and at last Sen-Turk just manages to keep the grip, and Renix now, with 1 minute and 39 seconds left on the clock, she'll know that she's got to come forwards.
She definitely has to change gears and turn up the pace to get that score back, and hopefully one even higher than that. A lot of the Georgian fighters as well do a lot of the lifting techniques.
Do you know, there are 3 of the Georgian men at the moment, and that's not including 90 kilograms with their dynamic 90 kilo fighters, but 3 of them are world number ones at the moment on the medal out of 7 weight categories.
Yeah, I noticed that earlier today. It was incredible.
It's incredible, isn't it? So Renix really now starting to take the fight to Sen-Turk.
Oh, that was almost another Wazari. I think she held on by a toe. Her big toe was the last one. Yeah, Sen-Turk, big fan of Newaza. And using Tomonagi effectively. Oh, here we go, another penalty for Renix. So one more and she's going to be done. So there goes another Tomonagi, but the referee is going to have to...
Just managing, isn't she, to break her balance every time with that. So just getting away with the passivity bit.
Now, breaking the balance prior to the attack or during the attack?
During the attack. So what will happen is, as with all big, if you've got somebody with a massive technique, they'll hit you with it, and you just climb off it, fingernails, toenails, just climbing off it, right? Okay. And then the second one, you go, right, and so you readjust, and then you manage to kill it a little bit, more, and then the third one you've got the measure of it and you kill it completely, and that's what happens here is that they'll kill the Tomonagi then eventually and just stop it dead, and if it stops dead it's immediate. The referees will immediately penalize.
Ooh, that was a good grip. Yeah, back to Daria, because she's so tall, everyone probably tries to get underneath her, so she's specializing in that defense.
No, she does readjust the legs.
Oh, see, there's one. She did not break her balance. That might be a penalty there.
It might,
there
and you're right. Spot
hey,
on it.
Hey.
No, dead right. Well, you can see it, can't you?
Clear,
It's just clear. It's a false attack. It's not for real, and it's intention. Again, we come back to the word intention.
They are not letting up, though. 20 seconds left, and they are going for it.
Yeah, she needs a big score and just to equal it up. Wazari would equal it. Now
nice
she's going to go on it, Renix.
Got to get that outer leg, the far leg, I mean. Oh, try that. Oh, and that's
Elbow was out. So if the elbow's out when they land, the torso has to hit the ground. But so one of the things is that if the elbow is just tucked out there, then they won't score it.
If the side doesn't touch?
If the side doesn't touch first. So it's a good indicator, actually, because a lot of people look and they want to see as to whether it was a score or not. And you can see it in slow motion sometimes, you know, when they play it back, that quite clearly the top part of the torso hits the ground. And sometimes it's quick action, you know, so it might not look as in real time. But then what happens is that with the elbow out, definitely not a score. That was for sure a score there. That was the one that secured it for the Turk. And the Turk will go through then.
So if let's say, for example, my left hip touches the mat, but my left elbow is like in a plank position and my left lat doesn't touch, that's
bottom part of the doesn't count. It's got to be the upper part of the torso. So I mean, you have a look. Some of the ladies, of course, double jointed, so their bottom bit might be completely round the other way, but the top half isn't. Right, let's have a look. So we're going to go, if we can, to mat number 2. We're going to just change this. We're going to leave this match. And we're going to go, and we've got Gabriela Chibana of Brazil in the under 48 kilograms category against Wakana Koga of Japan. And I should say Koga Wakana.
Yeah, very famous Japanese judo name, Koga.
Well, indeed. And the good thing, and the reason I wanted to come on to this lady here, is that we will see great transition into the newaza as well. All the Japanese women, brilliant transition, and very, very seldom do we see it that they don't get the leg out if they're in that situation.
The Brazilian player obviously has a little Japanese descent as well, Chibana Gabriela.
Yes, her brother also in the team, and they are. I was talking actually to the Brazilian coach just prior to coming on air. We were saying that, and she was telling me that this is the actual full national team that they've got here.
Oh, wow.
And sometimes they have others that qualify and self-fund themselves out to certain events. Because we always see the Brazilians out. They have an amazing situation where they send players out for experience, you know, to feel, they're out there early. They are.
Oh man, that's it. She's penalized out. Winner by Ippon is Koga Wakana. Not the way I'm sure she wanted to win, but a victory is a victory. And here we go. It's Sarah Menezes from Brazil coming up now against Elaine Abuan from the United States.
Yes. So we're going to see Sarah Menezes, then the Olympic champion from London. But she was Olympic champion in under 48 kilograms category, so came into this, and she came into the under 52s, finding it difficult to find the form that took her to be Olympic champion. But she is a great athlete, Sarah Menezes. She's wearing white, and so let's just see how this all goes for her today.
Yeah, sometimes when people move up weight categories, you know, they're going to give up a little bit of a strength advantage, but they may acquire a speed advantage. But from 48 to 52 kilos, I don't know how much speed these fighters are going to be losing.
Yeah, I think that certain people, when they move up a weight category, can really cope with it easily. I think other people take a little while just to adapt. And not always we very seldom see them dropping down a weight, but we do see it sometimes. Watch out for the Sianagi of Menezes, and she has left and right. The last 2 times I've seen her out, she's just been finding it difficult to coordinate.
Ooh,
nice Ashiwaza, that's it, it's all over.
That was fast.
Wow.
Excellent.
Well, she just got a wazari for that.
Wow.
So we have to have a look at the landing, because the referee was right on it. See the landing, I mean, it was very, very quick. And so a wazari scored, and if we see it in slow motion, which we probably will a little bit later, we'll see that the actual landing was on the side, not on the back. So we say score the landing, not the flight. But it was quick, you know what I mean? It was quick, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was fast. Sometimes that speed can make you think it's a higher score than it is.
Absolutely.
But one thing I like about using this quick ashiwaza is that it opens up other techniques when the person now has to be mindful of that.
So the reason she just got a wazari for that was because she just landed on one shoulder. Let's have a look now. Look at where she lands. It's not quite with the force.
Oh, yeah.
Just a little bit of a roll, not quite with the impetus, so she gets the wazari.
2 minutes and 20 seconds left in this first round competition between Sarah Menace and Elaine Abouan from the United States in blue. If you're just joining us, we are in Montreal for the first ever Montreal Grand Prix. This is the first day of competition, the preliminary round. Later tonight we will have the finals for our 5 categories. For men we have 60 and 66 kilos, and for women we have 48, 52, and 57 kilograms.
Yes, it's all medal matches this evening, and it'll be 5 o'clock local time, Montreal, and it's all systems go. Of course, the ones that get to the quarterfinals will all have a chance of 2 chances of fighting for medals. So Sarah Menace is now looking for the other wazari. She's searching it out all the time, and certainly looks better today than I've seen her for a little while, so it's good.
Yeah, you can see that she's relaxed. With that wazari score and no penalties, she's, oh, there, wow. Whoa, she
was
avoided
close.
that. She spun on her head.
She did. She went across the top of the shoulders. Actually, if they roll across one shoulder to another, then they'll often give the score for it. But that was just a little bit of head there. But looking for the shimiwaza here. Is she going to climb around to try and get the leverage? She might be underneath the neck. Can't quite see. It's always a bit suspect, isn't it, this situation here?
It looks like it's direct to the neck, but it might not be up deep enough. But this also, I mean, making it appear that she's making progress is an excellent tactic to, eat the time up.
To waste the time.
Yeah, waste it. Yeah, waste it. I would often nod if I was trying to waste the time. I would nod as if I'm indicating, yep, I'm having progress, so the referee would let it go a little longer.
See, tactics. These are the tactics, and you've got it all live TV here, giving the game away. Yes, yeah.
Ooh, wow, nice attack.
Elbow out. So the elbow was out there, so you could see it quite clearly. Wasn't quite onto the side for the other wazari. This might be it, though. Now can she get the leverage?
That hip's on there. Now the referee can't see if this is across the face, because even if it is, this is extremely painful. That hip choke. Eat that time up. There it is, 7 seconds. Just keep walking.
Yeah, trying for the koshiguruma, but not quite going to happen, is she? Oh, I think she might have submitted on the bell there. I'm not sure if he's going to call the ippon for that. I don't think it'll make any difference. She's going to go through anyway. Yeah, and she's going to be fighting Primo of Israel at the top part there, so that should be a really good match in Pool A, and so a good start there for Menace. She'll be happy about that, just to be able to get into the rhythm, and I think that is part of it, is just getting into the rhythm.
Yeah, she looked very, very confident there. Nice attacks. Immediately transitioning, it looked like she was trying to go for a triangle choke from the front. And then stepping over. At the end of this, her just body was contorted and looked very uncomfortable. I wonder sometimes if it was the choke or if it was literally just her body being twisted up.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time the referee has a problem because they're not allowed to squat too far down. They have a problem that they've got to keep safety involved, because I think absolutely imperative. This is a good matchup here, and we're going to stay on this mat number 2. Joana Ramos of Portugal, and Ramos just off the back of a good medal win just a couple of weeks ago, and she's against Jong Byung-yong of Korea. So a tough old match, first round, and the thing is that this is the first Grand Prix that we've had here in Montreal, and a lot of people looking forward to an amazing event, and the hospitality, I've got to say, has been amazing, and everything going according to plan so far.
Yeah, some countries I can see them having a wait and see attitude. Let's see how they put on the event, and if they're watching, they're going to see, okay, this event is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe next year we can participate. Or
well, I mean, it's always local, you know, obviously how well it's done locally, of course, but the IJF crew come in and, you know, help as well, and it really is a team effort to make it all work. So far, Jong is the one initiating. So Ramos has got to do something here.
Yeah, seems pretty relaxed at this moment here. Perhaps she needs to fire up a little bit, as we say.
Takes a little while to warm up, and that's, yeah. You can get caught out cold, can't you? Sometimes you're just out there, and especially if you've got a tough first round in. No easy rounds.
Yeah, Ramos does not have the grip she wants, and that's proving to be a big problem for her here. There we go. She got one of her hands free. Jong Byung-yong is definitely leading in the gripping department.
Looking for the shimiwaza, looking for the strangle, and trying to get that hand around the neck, or the jacket around the neck. And of course the catch, I always think of with newaza situations, it's always the catch for me, you know, for the arm, it was always the catch for the juji, and then for the neck, you know, if you're too late, the face goes down, it's across the face. And I think we see that a lot now, because the rules, there's no penalties if you go across the face, they just stop it. And I always think they should give a penalty, because people are just diving across the face. They don't care.
Yeah, I mean, and the amount of pressure that these athletes are putting across the face is, you can break a nose,
well, you can
break a tooth. Yeah.
Well, we saw it last week in the European Games, the European Championships. Right away, it was so obvious, and then the referee eventually came round to stopping it, but too late, blood everywhere.
Oh, wow. I like hearing people debate that. One is, you know, in real life self-defense situations, you can't tell someone, hey, your choke is across my face. But this is sport, and in sport we want to adhere to.
Well, I mean, you know, it's all part of the game as well, isn't it? You know, that's exactly it. It's all part of the game.
I used to put the gi across my face and make sure I would roll to the referee to make eye contact.
Again, you can hear it live on television here. All the tactics. Anthony Corelli, that's exactly what he did. Now you know.
There's somebody out there saying, hey, he did that to me.
Yeah, hold on a minute.
Here she comes now. Joana Ramos seems to be turning up the pace. Has a little bounce in her step, and she's coming forward a little stronger.
Well, she's got to. You know, she's like the two Shidos on the board here. The Korean's been just racking the attacks up.
Yeah, 17 seconds left, so she better do something now if she wants to score. She can pull out a victory here with a quick score in the last 13 seconds. Ooh, no, not quite deep enough with the arm control.
I always think it's a strange one. Soda Makakomi, you know, it's Makakomi, but not quite the same control of the arm, and then they launch themselves towards the mat, and a lot of scores, I have to say. Soda Makakomi, there's a lot of scores in top flight at the moment, with it. But
I always found it to be a technique for heavier people because
Yeah.
they have more girth to wrap the arm around when they do that roll, especially when you're grabbing right down at the end of the sleeve. There's just not a lot of room to create that rotation.
well, to create the rotation or get lift, there's no lift at all, is there? It's just
Yeah, straight down. At least if you grab above the elbow, though, I think that you can generate some rotation. Golden score, here we go. Whoop. That was fast. It's like two different fighters now with this added pressure. Sometimes people need that pressure to really, pull out their best performance.
Yeah, I think, and also it can go against the run of play. You can see here that the Korean's been attacking, but they're very experienced, Ramos, I tell you, she can steal matches. So now she's started to go to work, and she might just get the score here that's needed. So we saw an 11-minute golden score last week.
Oh, wow.
So they did the 4 minutes, and then there was 11 minutes went.
Wow, 15 minutes in total. That's a lot. You better be in shape for that one.
Oh, yeah. It was 3 contests back-to-back.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's her.
No, just one hand down. So if it's 2 hands go together, then it's a wazari. Not a big fan of it, I have to say. I'm really not a fan of it, but they are giving wazari for it now.
If the person falls on their buttocks with 2 hands down, that's
2 hands
wazari?
down at the same time.
Oh, wow.
And the reason behind that is that for safety reasons, but I think that it might be one of the things that's going to go after the Olympic Games. They won't change any of the rules now coming up to the Olympic Games, but yeah, and that was one of the ones that Billedid lost one of her very controversial matches. Just well, it's about a couple of months back. I think that's the key point.
Now, I wonder how frustrating this is for Jeong Bok-young, who has been, for the first part during the actual 4 minutes, I felt she was dominating, and now she's in golden score, and it all meant nothing, so to speak.
Not enough rotation, not enough control with it, certainly no lift. Well, we're going to stay on this tatami because in another couple of fights we've got the first round of Mushvedabadze of Russia, the world #1. It's going to be out there against Sith Hussein of Lathos, and we're going to see that fight, and it's going to be in a couple of fights' time.
Whoa, man, lost the grip there. Young looks like she's starting to get fatigued, and it seems like the momentum, if you believe momentum is a real thing, some people don't, but it's starting to shift towards Joanna Ramos here. She looks like the fresher of the two, to be honest.
Yeah, I think you're right. For anybody who's just clued into us here on mat #2, we are commentating live on the Joanna Ramos and Jeong fight. And if you want to go in between the mats, you can do. You won't have the commentary unless we're actually on it. But Kerlin Gambold of Mongolia is on the mat #1 in the under 66 kilos category. And now we've got Nahisa Takato of Japan, and actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that if we can just move just to take a look in the under 60 kilos category.
I think she just won it right there anyway.
I think we've just seen her win it, so I think we could just move off from this mat here, just have a look at Takato on mat 3 if we can, please.
And there it is. Yep, she won it.
So the Korean was the winner there. Jeong just stealing it off Ramos. And now we've got the world champion. You can see he's the world champion there. He's got the red back patch on. And here he is up against Moritz Plafke of Germany. And Plafke a European medalist last week, and so we'll see. He's got a good fight here, Takato. It's by no means going to be easy for him.
Yeah, Takato is very fun to watch. He seems that he's reached a point where he can become creative, and that to me is the highest level of understanding, when you can actually take it and create new entries and combinations. And
he's not your typical Japanese, is he, fighter? You know, he does some typical Japanese judo, but then all of a sudden we'll see him do some kind of suplex or some kind of pickup.
Modified, yeah. That traditionally the Japanese judo is traditional. Oh wow, he was like, oh man, he's like past the point of entry. Oh man, what a nice coaching.
Yeah. So that was. Did he get the ippon for that, or was that
called
Wazari?
But
That definitely was an ippon. And so if he had the Wazari already on the board there, I'm assuming that he did. Then Wazari was eti ippon. But anyway, Takato is the winner. 2 easy scores. Then it must have been. So let's have a look at this. So definitely a Wazari scored. He already had a Wazari on the board there.
Yeah. Look at, he's just keeping him guessing and off balance, faking one way, going another, faking another, going another, and ultimately this coach, like faking Osoto. There it is, driving forward. Beautiful, just beautiful. The timing.
Wow. Well, he took a very tasty German out there. Plafke, no easy match, I can tell you.
And here is Lee Harim in the white gi. This is round 2 against Hernan Birbier from Argentina. And this is on mat number 3.
You're the winner of this. Will go through to fight Takato. It's a nice thought, isn't it? Just watch Takato come off there. Not even breathing heavy.
Yeah.
Yes.
The conditioning is incredible. I don't know if I was known for my heavy breathing, but it was pretty obvious. Tactics.
Yeah,
I wanted them to get confident.
Again, that's what it was. It's those tactics again. Well, we're working our way through these earlier rounds, and it's nice to see some nice ippon judo, some good ippon judo in the early rounds as well.
Whoa! Just nicked him on the way out with some ashiwaza and caught his balance just in the nick of time.
So we are going to switch over now for the match that I said earlier. Mishfidabadze of Russia here is just stepping out here against Sithisane of Lathos, and he's just about to go, and he is in white, Mishfidabadze.
Yeah, here he is. Yeah, not the best draw for Sithisane, but
no.
Hopefully he rises to the occasion and puts up a very good fight.
Well, I can tell you, he's got an absolute nightmare on his hands here, because Mishfidabadze can score from lots of different angles.
Yeah, he appeared to be going for the overhand and then pulled him, changed direction so fast. He stands, he shows up left and then, whoa. Hey, he's attacking, he's not intimidated.
He's out here. I mean, you know, the thing is that they're out here, like you say, big chance, fighting best in the world here. Nothing to lose whatsoever.
Hoping to be the Buster Douglas. Whoa, wow. Whoa, he scored on him. He's coming, he's game. You know what? He's the guy who wants to rise to the occasion.
And he's doing just that.
He's winning. And look at this, transition to Newaza is pretty good too. I have to remember this gentleman.
Drops Sianagi then, takes the world number 1 over. Mishferdabadze then, all of a sudden now, realizes that he's in a fight. Looking for the Sorikomigoshi, Mishferdabadze. Now got the arm over.
Now let's see what he does with this lead. Whoa, he's coming in for that deep hooking Koichi, but
well, this is it. This is the danger. That arm coming over the top.
Look at that grip strength, my lord. Wow, wait, okay, he attacked.
Yeah, he's having a nightmare with him, isn't he? The Russian, not having it all his own way, backed him up to the edge. So Shido for the one that pushed or the one that stepped out. So the one that stepped out this time gets it.
There were a couple fights that I was surprised that the referee was not telling them to tuck it in because the Ghees were wide open.
Yes.
If you have the abdominal muscles you want to show off, that's a good time.
Those days are long gone, long gone.
That's why I tucked my Ghee in. Whoa,
that's it.
Beautiful attack.
What a beautiful Seatoshi that was. And
That
so
was
Mackenzie
left.
gets a clean hip on there with that Seatoshi.
These 60-kilo fighters are just so fast and so strong. It's incredible. Look at that. Beautiful. Double sleeve, right?
Yeah. And that movement, and just, I mean, that is just a traditional Seatoshi, dropping down onto one knee, everything driving downwards towards the mat there. But of course, the grip just that little bit different there off the sleeves.
Jore Vrastraten.
Versaiten, yes,
Versaiten from Belgium.
Yeah.
And versus Yanislav Gerchev from Bulgaria.
Yeah, Verstraeten, medalist last week in European Games, and yeah, some good judo for Verstraeten. Tough one here though against Gerchev.
Yeah, I know Bulgaria has a rich sambo background, and I wonder if you have some crossover from athletes there coming to judo.
What, from the wrestling?
From the sambo.
Oh, from the sambo, yes. Well, it was interesting because there was a lot last week at the European Games. There was sambo was actually at the games as well as the judo, but a lot of the better sambo fighters were fighting in the judo.
I imagine it's more popular.
Yes.
More prestigious type of battle. And an Olympic sport.
It's Olympic sport. I think that was the key point. Olympic qualification points.
Yeah, I noticed last year Bulgaria putting forward some excellent fighters as well as many countries. And Belgium too, they always have some strong fighters.
Yeah, I had 4 years in Belgium as the national coach of the Flemish part. Of course, it is a divided country, and it's divided with the Flemish and the French side, all within 20 kilometers of each other, two totally different countries living within. And of course, when it comes to Olympic Games or World Championships or Europeans, they will always represent as one group, but it's two countries coming together. It's quite remarkable, actually. You've got to live there to even partly understand how it works.
So how do they determine who goes to the Olympics, for example?
Well, then what will happen is the highest ranked will, obviously when it comes to selections, they'll have a group selection from the French and the Flemish will come together to make a group selection as to who goes to those events. And then the one with the highest world ranking or the one that has the better results will go.
No fight-offs?
Sometimes.
I'm
Yes,
a
we
fan of
did have
fight-offs.
one. Yeah, we did have one in under 48 kilograms. One of my students, and also one of the French side. They had to fight it off. Best of
always
three.
It's probably one of the biggest fights of your life, a fight-off. It
Well,
determines whether or
and
not you're an
it's
Olympic
behind
athlete.
closed doors, and because you haven't got the atmosphere. It really is a sole concentration on the job in hand. Now then, ooh, that was close. Seeing Aggie there, Verhagen right the way underneath.
Yeah, I don't know if it's my favorite category, but 60, maybe 66. I just love the explosiveness and just if you blink, you're missing an attack.
Yeah, and it's difference in speed. It's not necessarily the speed of the entry, but because some of the heavyweights can enter very, very quickly, but it's the speed of moving around the area. I think that is the key, isn't it?
Just under a minute left. Here comes a second Shido for Yanislav. Unless he realizes, well, 22 seconds left, so he can just attack. That is a strong grip. Oh my lord.
Well, I'm not so sure he didn't use his head there to kind of springboard off. He'll get away with it, I think, this time, but that's going to be on.
Now he has 5 seconds.
Yeah, no, I think 5 seconds to go. I'm not sure what quite was wrong there, and the Bulgarian said, "Are you okay?" But 5 seconds to go. I think he had a kick somewhere private.
Maybe that was the "Are you okay?" I thought because he had that choke across maybe the jaw. Well, that's a good show of sportsmanship. I'm a big fan of sportsmanship.
Yeah, me too. I'm a big fan of handling the situation in the right way. I really am. I just think it's so important. And if you lose major match, people are always watching.
Here we are, golden score, sudden death, overtime. For those that are wondering what golden score means, it is the first score. You are the winner. Both fighters not wasting an opportunity transitioning to the ground without letting up at all. Maybe respecting the skills of the opponent with regards to the ground. And sometimes, I saw last year somebody looked up for a split second and they got a
big mistake. Isn't it? Looking up to see if the referee's there, then discovering that your opponent definitely is.
I believe it was Christina Degucci last year at one point. The one fighter took her hands off her back. She looked up, and then I don't know if that was a tactic, and grabbed the choke, and that was the end of the fight. Just that split second of losing focus.
Well, we actually have got Christa Degucci is actually on the mat number 1, and as soon as we finish this match here with Verstraeten, we will have a drift over to it, and we'll have a look at Christa. Of course, Christa Degucci is head-to-head with Jessica Klimket, her teammate, of course, and the result of today is going to be very important, I think. Although we were talking that Degucci is 3-0 up in their head-to-heads at the moment.
I think 4-0. Yeah. Yeah, Deguchi and Klimkate are both very close in age too, so it's not a situation where one person's near the end of their career. They're both in the middle of it, 22 and 23 years old. There's no changing of the guard here.
I think we just missed the Deguchi fight. I'm not sure, but anyway. So we've still got Verstraeten here against Gurchev, and so now Gurchev having to be a little bit careful with that Tomanegi.
Approaching 2 minutes into golden score.
What about for you? Golden score, would it have been good? Would you like the golden score?
I would probably not have been a fan of golden score. Extra running.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Wow. Nice attack. Both guys are still very strong and very dangerous.
Well, they're both trying to throw for Ippon. That's a good thing.
Yeah, Yanislav is not even, his mouth is still closed. He's in shape. Oh, what do we have there? We have we had a third penalty to Yanislav, and Verstraeten is a winner.
I'm impressed with Gurchev. Handles himself well, so it didn't quite go his way. But always respectful, and I like to see that. Okay, so we're going to stay here for this next round. Yes. Quarterfinal match. Paula Pareto of Argentina. Yeah. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? They've sent the young one out as well. You're talking about changing of the guard. And that's what we've got here, a young one out, against Pareto. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes up against Pareto.
Yeah, this is going to have an effect nationally for Argentina. To see.
Well, they wouldn't send the young one out if they didn't think that she was going to be a threat eventually. Here she is fighting the Olympic champion. You've got the Olympic champion in your weight category. So get an opportunity like this, you're going to take the fight, aren't you?
Absolutely. She's definitely going to try and prove a point. And I'm sure you know many cases where a particular country had two excellent fighters, but the number 2 guy could have easily been a world medalist, but he was behind a phenom.
Yeah, well, look at this situation they've got in Japan. They're leaving the world champion behind. He's actually here, Hashimoto, at 73 kilograms. They're leaving him behind. He's not going to the World Championships. He's the defending world champion. He's not going to defend it. And they've got the Olympic champion that beat him in the national trials, and another one that beat him as well in the national trials. So Hashimoto, the world champion, isn't going.
That's #depth.
It is. Pareto goes ahead then. Nice Sodisura Komigoshi, and she is a Wazari ahead against Perifan.
Let's see if Casey Perifan can recover from this, prove a point to everybody watching at home. But she is the top dog in Argentina in this weight category, 48 kilograms. Mat number 2. She turned away. I apologize to the people at home. Sometimes I react like a fan, and I say E and ooh, and I should be calling the action.
You can E and ooh, because I E and ooh everywhere, so I do. So we're both going to do it everywhere. Oh, that's it. It's going to be all over.
It, yeah, she knows. She knows. Hey, nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah, well, these two probably trained together. I mean, probably as a youngster, she will have come up, and Pareto will have had her as a training partner. Little wink there, down there, just kind of said it all. So Pareto, the Olympic champion, goes through to the semi-finals in the under 48 kilos category.
It's surreal sometimes. So let's say, for example, you're a 16-year-old fighter at a weight category, and the person that you look up to is 24 years old. That's 8 years. That's a big difference. and they become your role model and someone you aspire to be. And all of a sudden you're 20 years old. They're only 28 years old, and now you're fighting them. And it's, you know, when you're what's the word? Becomes when your role model becomes your adversary.
Absolutely. And then, you've got to take every opportunity, though, haven't you? You just have to.
Oh, here it is. Koga Wakana in the blue gi versus Maria Siderat from Portugal. That's a tall glass of water right there. That's a tough task. Koga Wakana looks in top form.
Yeah, she does. She just looks very steady, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Consistent, looking for the Uchimata all the time, but she's got some transition as well from here. First time I've seen her out, Koga.
You know, that fake attack was so strong, it actually put Maria Siderat down. That's respect. Sometimes, you know, when someone's grip game is so strong, and it could be misleading. They could just have a good grip game, but you assume the rest of the body's strength is going to match that grip game. She's not backing down. Maria Siderat. I don't know if that's Siderat or Siderat.
Siderat, for me, Siderat, yes.
Well, good for Siderat anyway. She's connecting some attacks in order, one to the next in combinations, and good for her, not giving Koga Wakana an opportunity to get in there.
I think she's just got to be careful with the transition on the ground, and I think that's what Koga will try. So we're already getting up towards the semi-final stages.
Yep, there she goes. Let's see if she, oh no, she opted to pause for a moment. That pause is the universal indicator that we would like to stand back up, please.
Well, I'm going to, in another couple of fights, we're going to do another couple of fights, and then I'm going to get Nikki in just to sit in just for a bit, and Nikki Jenkins, who's married to that guy. And
Manitoba's finest.
Nikki, yeah, Manitoba's finest she was. Obviously Canadian champion many times, and also in the world team 3 times. Yeah. And we're going to get her in a second. We'll drag her over. On home ground. I wasn't allowed to come all the way to Canada and leave her.
Yeah.
So this is it. Looking for the shimmy waza there, wasn't she? Straight on top there, Koga.
Yeah, I couldn't see from that angle how far it had developed, but it looked like it was ready to go if she just rolled in there. I love watching Koga Wakana walk forward. Her right leg will not pass her left leg, and she just kind of shuffles forward, keeping her balance at all times.
Well, all the time looking for new fighters, of course. The Japanese, the youngsters they put out, blooding them. This is a perfect situation where, you know, sometimes juniors can come out here, and now is she on? I think she might be on that.
Did she just tap? I believe she just tapped, yeah. That's the opponent by Koga Wakana. She didn't even have to turn her over. Look at she was ducking underneath to flip her over. Next on mat number 2, we have, I think it's Jeffen Primo versus Sarah Menezes.
Yeah, Sarah Menace is coming out for her quarterfinal match.
Winner of this, of course, in the semifinals.
Well, I'm going to leave you just to this fight. I'm going to leave you in very good hands, and then I'm going to get Nikki Adams to come in and just sit in for a couple of the fights. And so you've got this, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And not the largest amount of rest for Sarah Menezes. She fought not long ago, but she looks very fresh. Her conditioning is obviously top notch. To be on the national team from Brazil, you have to be tough. There's a lot of depth in that country with regards to the amount of fighters they have. Oh, we're on the wrong side. Here we go. The women must keep their hair up and out of the way of grips. And most importantly, the back of the neck, that part of the gi, you can definitely easily get a handful of hair there. Good scrap going on here. Excellent gripping and they're slowing it down. Someone looks like they're about to explode. Let's see. What's going to happen here? Belt grab, hip throw. Is she going to power it? Wow. She tried to power her all the way over. There's a Shido for Sarah Menezes. Jeffen Primo. With an excellent showing thus far. Got to protect that neck, keep those arms in. And Sarah Menezes stopping the action so that they stand up and get back to their feet with some more tachiwaza. I think she wants to throw. Whoop. Drop down attempt, back to her feet. That's how fast she is. She can identify that the technique was not going to be successful, and in the blink of an eye, back to her own feet. Tomonagi attempt, unsuccessful. Jeffen Primo picks her up. Looks like there may be, her fingers are already taped, indicating they're already compromised, and she just shook them off, but she'll be fine. She's obviously very tough. Strong left-handed grip by Jeffen Primo. Whoop. Oh, she had that front triangle choke opportunity there. 2 minutes left, halfway in this quarterfinal contest between Jeffen Primo and Sarah Menezes from Brazil. If you are just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, oh man, that looked like a critical error by Sarah Menezes. This is Osai Komi. I'm not sure if she's going to get a score for the actual throw. Wow, Ipan by Jeffen Primo from Israel in the white gi. That is a very substantial victory for her, and she is now in the semifinals. Sarah Menezes has to be disappointed with that. She was looking very good. So she went for a throw, and personally I would have scored that because she manipulated the upper body enough to put her on her back. But one thing people forget to do sometimes is to kiai. With that counter coming here, you'll see here, if you kiai and drop down as if it's a throw and you're attempting a throw, you can turn that no score into a score in the eyes of the referee. Here is Ekaterina Wika against Jeong Bok-young. Canada is in the blue and Korea is in the white. Again, quarterfinal action. This choke is the choke of the day. Everyone's going for it. Every time it's a drop-down technique. And if you maintain that grip, you can easily turn sideways and roll into this effective choke. Again, for those that are just joining, we are in Montreal, Canada, at the Montreal Grand Prix. It's Canada's first Grand Prix event on the World Judo Tour. The IJF has been here all week setting up. The venue is awesome. Ooh, nice attack by Jeong Bok-young. Did she get a score for that? I know she landed, but perhaps both hands didn't touch, so no score there. Montreal has a rich history of judo in Canada, and it's a perfect city event. For the first day of competition and preliminaries, the audience is there's a lot of people here watching, and they seem quite savvy. They know when a penalty is about to be given. They know when a score is about to be called. Probably judo practitioners themselves or related to somebody that is, but quite the educated audience here today in Montreal, Canada. Perhaps we can go to mat number 3, 60 kilogram men's division. I'd like to see Takato Nayohiza against Lee Harim from Korea. And here they are. Takato Nayohiza from Japan in the white gi, which is Lee Harim from Korea in the blue gi. This match is about halfway. No board, 60 kilogram quarterfinal action. The winner will advance to the semifinals. It appears that we're going to have a penalty here. It's a Shido for Lee Harim from Korea. As you can see, Takato has the red patch on his back indicating he is the current world champion. Ooh, man, quick Ashiwaza. And if that doesn't score, what that does is takes your mind off of other things and allows for other opportunities. And of course, it's excellent scoring technique as well. Strong opposing angles here. Lefty versus righty, fighting for that pulling hand. And it looked like they're opting for just grabbing the wrist because there's no gi available there. Oh, that's another Shido. It appears that he's not allowing Takato Nayohiza to grab that left hand. Wow, there it is. Beautiful throw for Ippon. And he was almost like a belly to belly type throw, and then turned slowly and smoothly in the air and putting his opponent right on his back for Ippon, advancing to the semifinals. That is Takato Nayohiza. Beautiful Uchimata. And as he turned, he just adjusted that standing leg. Jan Sicardi from Monaco in the blue gi versus Takabatake Eric from Brazil. Let's see what this fighter from Monaco can do against a tough Brazilian fighter. Eric Takabatake.
Huge Ippon we just saw there.
Yeah, beautiful Ippon.
Absolutely massive.
I was watching this gentleman, Jan Sicardi from Monaco, warm up, and Wondering how he's going to do. Looks quite strong.
Well, you know, he's surprised.
You might as well use him.
Well, that's the thing. I think a lot of times we see the throw breakdown because of the kumakata and because of the gripping. And the Sakushi, you know, the Kazushi, absolutely imperative. So one penalty up there for the Brazilian. Takapataki under pressure.
Yeah, he has one Shido, 7 seconds, so he can even afford one false attack. But Sakardi, realizing he's running out of time, is getting a little bit frantic, but it looks like it's going to be to no avail. Definitely pushed the pace and fought to the end. That one moment, it seemed like he just didn't have his hands on him, cost him.
Well, Sakardi now, losing in the quarterfinal stages, will come back down and fight in a final repechage match. He has to win that, and then he'll be fighting for third place. And he's definitely limping there, Takapataki. He's just having a little limp on the way out there, so something happened in the previous round. Might be an older injury, but I suspect he did it in the last round. Okay, so we'll stay on mat number 2. We've got, in fact, let's go on to mat number 2 if we can. Ashley Mackenzie of Great Britain against Verstraeten of Belgium.
Oh, wow, this is going to be a nice fight. Ashley Mackenzie is just a fun fighter to watch.
Yeah, he's exciting, isn't he? Ashley Mackenzie really is an exciting fighter. He's very explosive, and he can throw anybody if he catches them right. Goes left and right for his Seatoshi. Yeah, go on.
It seems like he has really good eyes in terms of analyzing what's available to him at any particular moment.
Yeah, he's predominantly left, and then everybody said, well, you need to throw on the other side as well. So he just started to develop a right-handed Seatoshi as well.
Is he going to continue this? No, he's going to stand up. Sometimes you have to realize or ask yourself, is the juice worth the squeeze? And if someone's
that's a really good
if they're tight, really tight and covering up everything, you're going to fatigue your arms trying to dig out an arm.
It's the juice worth the squeeze. I like that because sometimes you have to know when to abandon something if it's going to be too much energy taken out. The exchanges in Newaza just really, whether you're attacking or defending, can take so much out of you. Well, Verstraeten being dominated grip-wise here, and he's going to look for the Seatoshi on the left again, but watch this change, I was going to say.
Oh, man.
That's going to be a score. That's definitely going to be a score. Wazari up then to Mackenzie.
That grip, he has such a strong grip.
Yeah, and the change over to the other flank, just paying dividends for Mackenzie.
If you're tuning in for the first time and perhaps don't practice judo, you'll see a lot of the athletes taped up fingers, and it's because the intensity of the gripping and ripping the gi out of your hand, and it's a lot. It does. What we got here? Sorry, Ashley Mackenzie's on top. If you can get that leg out, that's going to be a hold down.
Yeah, but this is Verstraeten looking for the turnover here. He's got to be a bit careful because Verstraeten's good at that turn. Mackenzie breathes again. 1 minute 31 left for contest.
So his initial approach is left-handed, and then he seems to. Sometimes he grabs. So he's grabbing his right arm, which will now allow him some right-handed techniques.
Well, he realizes he's down, and it's kind of slipping away from him here, Verstraeten. Mackenzie will look to waste valuable seconds. Is he going to go in, dig in for the arm lock?
Or get the leg out and try for an osaekomi.
Yeah, not renowned for his newaza, Mackenzie. Ashley Mackenzie, he's got one or two things he does down there well, but Verstraeten, he likes it down there. –
I always found it interesting how everybody learns the same techniques, but some people just take a liking for either tachiwaza or newaza. But I mean, a good fighter should like both. But sometimes somebody just feels uber comfortable in one area and they look for it all the time.
Yeah, he gets a penalty there, Mackenzie, for dropping. Now starting just to run a little bit. So this is a negative game now, you can see that, and he's in danger of getting a second penalty. That will be a second if Verstraeten just leaves him.
Nice turnover attempt by Verstraeten there. Yeah, if he didn't do that, he would have got a penalty.
Yeah, and I think he'll still get it when he stands up. I think the referee will remember it. But this is, like I said before, Verstraeten is very dangerous from here.
Wow.
Just manages to let the seconds tick away.
Yeah, if there was 30 seconds more, if it was a 5-minute match, that could have been a different outcome.
It could have been, totally. Yeah, another half a minute on there.
So Ashley Mackenzie is going to advance to the semifinals of the 60 kilogram division here at the Montreal Grand Prix. And Verstraeten still has an opportunity for a medal as well. Oh, I wonder if we can go to mat 1 there and see Ganbold Kerlin from Mongolia. We saw him earlier. Very strong. Versus Nathan Burns from Ireland.
Yeah, I think this will be a good match, this.
Yeah, two strong individuals. That one attack there Nathan Burns went in for, it seemed like he was setting himself up for a choke, but quickly recognized it and got out immediately.
Yeah, some great judo, Nathan Burns. He really has, and he goes all out against these top fighters. He just gives it his all, and won some great matches last week at the European Games. Some terrific matches. Just lost to get to the semi-final. But valuable world ranking points, and that's what he's here for, is to pick up world ranking points for qualification.
Ooh. Nice counter. Oh, and step around Osoto attempt. I noticed a lot of the fighters here at this level, at this stage, the IJF World Tour, not only do they attack quickly, they get out of danger really quickly. They kind of reverse that attack very fast.
Well, he's trying to get the inside grip here to control the inside, Burns, and he's going to get penalised if he's not careful out of this. Be very lucky if he does. Well, he gets away with that one. That was his last one. Can't just fall onto his back now. Just needs to stay strong with his attacks.
Yeah, this isn't golden score. And he has two shidos. He has to be perfect now. Oh.
Well, you're almost in there with them, aren't you? You know what I mean? Just feel it.
If I had a video game controller in my hand, I'd be pressing the buttons. 43 seconds. This is the semifinal.
No, this is in fact quarters, I think. I'm just looking now. So let's have a look. Oh, you might be right, actually. 66 kilos. I was looking at the 60s. Yeah, it is.
Wow, the winner of this advances to the finals, and they were in golden score. So there's a lot on the line here.
So yet again, Burns in a really important semi-final stage, and this is glass ceiling stuff for Nathan Burns.
Ganbold Kerlin pushing the pace now too. He wants to finish this. Oh, is that?
Get a Wazari, I think. Yeah, that's a Wazari for him.
Excellent victory. Wait, they put it on the wrong guy right now.
No, it went up to, yes, Gambold gets it. So it was a counter attack by Gambold.
Oh, I
there.
have to say replay on
Yeah,
that.
so the Sakeshi was definitely Burns that did the technique. He thought it was his as well. So I think Burns is of the same feeling that you are.
Yeah, can I see a replay on that? Because I thought that was... So let's see here.
So Burns attacks. So watch how... Yeah, so it's interesting, isn't it?
That's
you
a
know,
tough one.
for me, I probably wouldn't have scored that one because I don't think that was clear at all.
So I'm trying to see.
It's definitely the counter attack by the Mongolian using the Sakeshi movement. Very close though.
Yeah, that was
Very, very close.
I'm not even honestly convinced with the replay because he lands on his stomach with any roll. Huh. Well, it is what it is. There you go. He's in the finals.
True.
It seems like all the mats now, we have semifinal action on all 3 mats. Nathan Katz from Austria in the white gi here versus Van Gansbeek from Belgium.
Yes, Kenneth Van Gansbeek was one of my students in the Belgian team, and just youngster there, now fully fledged senior, of course, going for the Olympic qualification. So very important match though, because Nathan Katz also is here for qualification points.
Whoop. That door got closed pretty quick when he attempted an attack there. Both guys really sinking in that grip, taking their time to kind of adjust those fingers and really get as much gi as possible.
Always suffered with nerves, Kenneth Van Gansbeek, and he just has to calm himself down and settle himself down, and then he has some great judo.
It's funny you said that. I see him, his breathing, it doesn't look like he's fatigued. It looks like he's trying to compose himself.
Yeah. And there's a difference because always, sometimes you can get it mixed up, you know, that actually you're breathing heavy because your nerves are getting the better of you.
Yeah, like someone that's about to jump out of a plane. They're not exhausted from running. They're breathing for another reason.
There's another name for it, that's for sure.
A little past halfway for this second semifinal match, 66 kilos. Nathan Katz versus Kenneth Van Gansbeek.
The next contest contact referee is represented for women under 52 kilograms. In white category for Poland, Agata Perez. In blue for Austria.
I guess somewhere throughout the year, the IJF's Twitter handle switched to just @judo. I love it. Simple.
Simple but good.
Yeah.
Great for judo. You know, it's amazing. Now we have so many of the Grand Prix, Grand Slam tournaments, and we have judo regularly that you can access, and you can, just click of a finger, you've got judo.
If you're a young up-and-coming athlete, the resources on IJF.org is incredible.
Yeah.
To watch footage. I mean, we had to. I don't want to put you on the spot, but I used to watch your VHS tapes.
Back in the day.
We had to trade tapes. If you want to watch a particular event or world championships, we had to have a big plastic bag full of VHS tapes, and now you can go online and stream anything and watch a fighter. If there's someone you think you're going to be fighting in an upcoming event, you can go watch their previous fights. So as an athlete resource, it's incredible.
And all a touch of a button.
All the touch of a button.
Yeah.
Until the day the internet goes down, then you got nothing.
True.
You got to look for your VCR.
That's true.
But even the social media these days, sometimes when I'm preparing for a practice and I see some stuff online, I'll incorporate it into practice immediately. There's that deep armpit grip with the right hand.
Yeah, just about pace this. Again, it's a situation where Nathan Katz just a little bit behind on the pace here. 2 Shidos down.
Here, 1 second until another golden score for the semifinals of 66 kilos. They're just going to keep going. And here they go.
Well, both of these fighters will be very glad that they're in this semi-final. Semi-final of a Grand Prix tournament, and they've got every chance of a medal. 2 chances, in fact.
Yeah, I always, when I watch the Worlds or the Olympics, and I always saw that the reactions from winning a semifinal contest were often greater than winning the finals because of that relief. I am guaranteed a gold or silver medal. Because you can lose a semi and lose the bronze medal match, bam, bam, back to back, and all of a sudden, I was just in the semifinal. I got nothing. Wow, lifted him up there.
Yeah, this is a battle royal between these two.
He's going to go for the...
He wasn't far off for that. He's got the shimmy waza. This might be on. This might be it. Yes, it is.
It's happening. Wow, wonderful. Beautiful choke.
So that's good for Van Gansbeek. He's through to the final, and he will. I know him very, very well. He's going to be so pleased with that.
And for everybody watching, he obviously made it look like he was going for the Osai Akomi, and then, boom, transitioned over. The choke was right there. He's got to be very happy at this point. He's in the finals. So here, does he have the choke there?
Yeah, it was on. Just it just went underneath the neck. It slid underneath, didn't it?
Wow, that was strength personified. Wow. His grip was just like a pit bull, locked in. And here, this is the repechage, 57 kilos on mat number 1.
Yes, so let's have a look, because we've got different semi-finals all coming up here, and we have a semi-final that's on mat number 3, so we're going to go down to mat number 3 for a semi-final, and it's Korkmaz against Delgado.
Angelica Delgado from the United States in the blue gi, and Irem Korkmaz from Turkey in the white gi. Nice to see some American representation here.
Yes, well, it's like I say, it's great opportunity for Delgado here. He's got a Wazari down there to Korkmaz.
Wasn't the smoothest Wazari, but I'm sure she'll take it. She really earned that and had to power through it.
Yeah, trying to wrap up the top half here to take that leg out.
She has one shoulder and the head. Oh, she had one shoulder and the head. Just power.
Kosodagak and just drives her over. Almost Yoko Satemi was that. And she got it back. So that'll be one each. Well, I thought Delgado managed to counter her there.
Yeah.
So not counted. I thought it was a Wazari, but anyway, coach being told to quieten down.
Whoops. A second Shido now, with still half the fight to go. I don't know who's in more jeopardy, someone that needs to be thrown for Wazari or someone that needs one more Shido. I think a Shido is easier to attain than a Wazari.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, man. Some of those techniques, I find them very, they scare me a lot. When someone grabs and kind of sits, it looks like they can injure the person's knee. Instead of lifting, they kind of sit sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially when they're approaching from the side. Really looking for that overhand left grip is Irem Korkmaz from Turkey. Let's see what she does with it here. She's going for an Uchimata. Angelica Delgado with an opportunity here just to push this pace, attack, attack, attack. Don't let her breathe for a second and try and get that last Shido. .1 minute remaining. That can be a lot of time. It's a deep. Trying to pick up again. Oh, she left her head up, but it looks like she does not have it under the chin. She's still going for it though. She's trying to work it under. Delgado smartly looking up to the referee, indicating that it was across the face. .38 seconds left in this 52-kilogram semifinal match of the first ever Montreal Grand Prix.
Yeah, the first ever, and it's great, isn't it? I mean, it's everything going according to plan. Now Delgado is going to go through to the final here. It looks like she's just turned it, and she's got the hold anyway, and just needs to hold it for 20 seconds.
If Irem Korkmaz can get up on those knees, pull her legs in.
Well, look at the side. You know, this is prime example here of legs turned completely the wrong way around there, but the side was in contact, and that was a great win for Angelica Delgado. It really was.
Wow, she's on to the finals. Yeah, if Korkmaz could have pulled the knees, she had something to at least base off to try and get the upper body off.
Yeah. Great win that. She came from behind.
Yeah, big time. 5 seconds left.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, we're just so I was going to ask Anthony there just to have a coffee break, and because we have got a whole of the final block, and I'm just going to get Nikki Adams in, Nikki Jenkins Adams, just to help me with a couple of the fights, just so she can just get a feel of it, and then you two are going to go at it as well with the commentary. So we are a team here. We're just going to change some of the commentary positions just for some of the matches.
Okay, I will see you right here for the final block.
Well, yeah, if not a little bit sooner, just to let Nikki in, just do a couple of the fights, just to get a feel of it. That would be great.
Okay, I'm going to grab the coffee. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, that's good, mate. So Anthony's just having a well-deserved coffee break, and just a small break. just amazing having Anthony Corelli in here with me, and just to have some of the local former world stars from Canada that are actually helping me, and not only with the local representation, but of course with some of the ones that are going for world qualification points. And that's what these Grand Prix and Grand Slams are all about, actually, is the qualification points that they can pick up. And interesting that not only are we talking about Pan American representation, but we've got some, of course, one or two of the world and Olympic medalists that are spread out in the 5 categories that we've got today. But we've also got another 9 categories after today, because we've got 4 categories tomorrow, the middleweights, and then we've got 5 categories to finish on the Sunday. But I am really pleased that to say a big hello to Nikki Jenkins, stroke Adams.
It's been a few years since I heard that, but yeah, okay.
And of course, 7-time Canadian champion, representation at the 96 Olympic Games for Canada, and also how many world championships? 2 or 3? 3 world championships.
4
as well.
actually. I was injured for one.
All right, great. And yeah, we last commentated together at Commonwealth Games
2014.
And 2014. That's a little while ago, isn't it? Now.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know, yeah,
it
2014. And we met at the 2000 Olympic Games, and Nikki was commentating the Olympic final between Nicholas Gill, who is now the director,
CEO,
of course, CEO of Judo in Canada, and that was
He's
against
done
the
good.
great Kosei Inui. He's done great, and they're doing a great job here. The organisation, I'm just saying, the organisation here was absolutely amazing. And everything going according to plan. Some great judo as well.
Absolutely, and the first thing that you feel, and it is a feeling, is that as soon as you come into the venue, I know it's an ice rink, but you wouldn't know that. I mean, they've really done it well, and we've got a really intimate atmosphere, and it's buzzing. They're really excited about having this event, and it's good. It's got a soul, and it's got some personality here. So they've done a great job. Congratulations, Judo Canada.
So we're actually covering a repechage fight here. Let's just have a little look, see if we've got semi-finals coming up here. We've got Jessica Klimket, who's about to come up against Nelson Levy. That's going to happen in 2 fights' time. We've got another semi-final that we're going to go on to Mat 1 in a second, not quite yet, and that is Krista Deguchi against Julia Kowalczyk and of Poland. Interesting, the under 57 kilos category, because you've got Deguchi and Klimket going.
It's a powerhouse category, isn't it? And we've seen them. I mean, we saw them in Paris, and they had that head-to-head. What a day for Canada that day was, and I suspect, I'm hoping, it's going to happen again today. That comes about, and that we see them in the final. I mean, it must be like they're fighting each other's shadow. That's the hardest part.
Well, Anthony Corelli said that it's 4-0 up for Deguchi at the moment on their head-to-heads.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always, not a differential either in the ages. It's 1 year difference in the ages, so it's not like one's coming up, the other one's on the way down.
I think it's a matter of respect there, Neil. I mean, maybe Jess has got to give a little bit less respect to her. Yeah, I mean, Krista trains in Japan, and that's a mental thing. It is a big mental block, and she can't let that get to her. So maybe being at home here and having support and no jet lag, that's probably going to help her.
Yeah. So we're nearly on to there. Let's just concentrate on this fight here first. And, Sikadi doing very, very well in this repechage match against Lee. It's a penalty each, and still, 30 seconds to go in. I won't say normal time. Normal time isn't the correct way to call it. It's just the first 4 minutes of the contest. I had some interesting commentary with Anthony, and yeah. So he's you said he was one of the funniest people, and he is. He's one of the funniest. He's such a great character.
You never know with Anthony, but I mean, it's always good. It's always really good.
Okay, so we are now just on time on that particular contest there. We are going to move over to a semi-final match. We're moving up to mat number 1. Krista Dikuchi of Canada is up against Julia Kowalczyk of Poland. This is a semi-final match, and we've got 2 Canadian semi-finalists back-to-back in this particular category. So here we go.
I love watching Krista. It's such a traditional sense of judo, but also very focused, very respectful. It's got all the elements that you want.
Oh, starts it off. Well, Tominagi, and like you say, very exciting and straight the way into the attack there. And so consistent as well, she's been.
Well, it's cool, calm, collected with Krista, isn't it? It's always very cool, confidence. She knows what she wants. Look at those cross grips. She's looking to absolutely dominate, and then when she gets it, off she goes. So explosive.
And I think it's about confidence as well. She has the transition in newaza, so she's changing direction left and right with the tachiwaza, and now the same with the newaza. And the pole is in all sorts of problems here.
Well, keeping her guessing, which is great. One way, then the other, using the balance to her advantage.
Just wants to get up, get on with the fight. Deguchi then just showing why she is one of the most consistent in the under 57 kilos category.
And I really hope she can continue that. I mean, I know I said I would love to see Jessica come through and maybe have her day as well, but everyone loves to see a consistent fighter and competitor.
Yeah, well, I've got to say that, Jessica has also been, one of the most exciting young fighters that I've seen. That's going to be a Wazari. And so she'll get a Wazari on the board there, just with the side, just touching. Well, she got Ippon on the board there. I'm not so sure that was an Ippon. She must have had a Wazari already up there. They've put Ippon on the board, and it's not correct. It's a Wazari.
Yes, bamboozled me for a minute. Thought I blinked.
Me too.
But
me
that
too.
happens. It happens. Incredible pressure here, I think, for Krista. Being home, well, Canadian competition and the favorite. It's always a really big weight on the shoulders.
Yeah, and I think that, like you said, a lot of pressure, but she's very cool, calm and collected, isn't she? She just doesn't change her game plan, and I don't think she feels in danger in the newaza exchanges.
I was just thinking her facial expression there is like, oh, get off. Let's just carry on. Let's do something.
Well, she did it just a little bit earlier. She said, let's just get on with this.
Just get on with it. That's it. Stop playing.
Halfway through the contest, Wazari up, Deguchi. So Deguchi had a first round bye, taken her through, and she fought Podolak of Poland in the second round, and now the second Polish fighter, Julia Kowalczyk of Poland, and so good turnover.
Hunting. Absolutely hunting. She knew exactly what she wanted, and she was out to get it one way or the other, whether it was armbar or hold down. She knew it.
Yes, how professional was that? That was very, very professional, very slick, and if it wasn't going to be the tachiwaza, it's going to be the newaza, and she is now through. So she takes on the Polish squad and beats them. This is the Oso to Gary, Oso to Otosh. Actually takes her onto a side, and for me, not my favourite kind of score, but
perseverance,
anyway,
though.
yes, very, yeah, it was perseverance.
This to me is much better. I love that kind of thing.
Yeah, very professional. She's through, and now we've got Jessica Klimcake just stepping out here on mat number 1. and of course Nelson Levy of Israel, which this is going to be a hard, tough old fight.
She'd be well to get this over and done with quickly. Easier said than done, obviously, but she needs to make a show of force here. Now, I've said this before, Neil. I watched her in Paris, and she's got such a powerful turn-in, such an incredible... Like, look at there. And if we had just pulled a little bit more Kazushi, a little bit more movement in the instigation of the technique, she'd be unstoppable, because she is just absolutely a powerhouse in the turn-ins, which you don't see very often.
She is a powerhouse, and she's... I think, such an exciting prospect. She's been very, very consistent as well with the Grand Prix and the Grand Slams, and regular medal. She's up there with Krista for sure. What a situation, isn't it, to have two? I mean, they're both going to go probably to the World Championships almost for sure. So that'll be interesting as well.
That'll tell the story, won't it?
Well, it does, but I mean, you know, I have no doubts that they're going to be equally as consistent out there.
Well, Tim, that is quite consistent as well, and she looks like she knows what she wants. She knows her game plan, and she's executing it. So Jessica's got to maybe settle down a little bit, calm down. I know I said that she needs to show a force, but again, she needs to be cool, calm, and collected as well. Well, there we go. That was a good attempt, and just at the right time. They were dancing around Ishido there, ready for stalling, and just came in just at the right time. Oh, well, didn't get away with it, unfortunately. Two Ishidos down.
Yeah, this is just about pace, isn't it? You know, the pace here from Klimke, she's in and
She just saved herself, you see. She just played, like I said, she was dancing around that Shido and made the move just at the right time, and that's giving Levy the Shido. Oh, nice. See, again, super duper powerhouse technique, and turning in full commitment, yet lets herself down with that Kazushi. And I mean, it's not only herself. I just see that as the one picky little thing. It's not a little thing. It's Kumikata and Kazushi, and it starts everything. If she was able to get that sorted, wow! I think she would be unstoppable.
Well, she's kind of dominating this at the moment, just ahead on the pace, and I think that Nelson Levy, she realises that. Got to go forwards, of course.
Yeah, she's got to up the pace, and she's following, and she needs to lead if she has any. Oh, there it is.
One score then, Wazari on the board, and now 1 minute to go. Straight in for the attack, Newaza.
She needs to work now and show consistency and progression of work. Positive progression, however. Can't just work for the sake of working. We need to show the referee, show the Joseki table that we are working and working hard.
Yeah, I think she's looking at the clock as well. I mean, valuable seconds ticking away here. Well, can she get the Sangaku? 17 seconds to go, and it's almost to the point where we're going to have an all-Canadian final.
That would be special.
Well, it's going to be very special, isn't it? Especially on home ground here. Now she's starting to run. She can afford a couple of penalties. Doesn't want to do that though.
No, and like I said in the beginning, she needs to show this domination and go into the final showing not only her opponent but the crowd as well that, yeah, this is where I belong.
So it's going to happen then. So it's going to be definitely Klimket. And she's going to just go through to the final. This Cianagi was what did it. Deguchi is going to be her opponent. So what a final in the under 57 kilos category. It was always on the cards, and now it's actually going to happen. So what a semi-final this is then. Mishka Dabadze here of Russia, Ashley McKenzie of Great Britain in blue.
This is going to be a dynamic fight. Already a minute in. I think with both competitors being so powerful and just so surprising in their different techniques, they pull it out of the bag, and they're just so adaptable to each situation. It's just you never know what's coming, and that's what makes it so exciting.
Well, Ashley McKenzie has been on great form. Mishka Dabadze had a bit of a slow start and got thrown for a Wazari first off. He's the world number one at the moment, a world rank number one, Mishka Dabadze. And it's funny, we've got a splattering of the Europeans out here, and everyone that's out here is here for a reason. And we talked about it a lot, haven't we, in the past, about how expensive it is, Europeans to come here, you to go to Europe, you know, and what you had to do, you know, in order to make it pay.
Well, and that's it. I mean, in my day, in our day,
yeah,
we didn't have as many tournaments, and I know there's been a few moans and that. Oh, there's just so many tournaments you can't phase train, you can't train properly. I think having more tournaments, then you can choose. Then you've got more choice, and then you can prepare according to your own planning. But now, with a year to go, there's a lot of competitors out there chasing the points and chasing their places in their respective countries. And in terms of Ashley McKenzie, I think he just loves fighting. It doesn't matter about, I mean, it does matter about the points, but he just likes the thrill of competition as well.
I think you're right. He does love fighting, and you know, he's so consistent now. He's up there and fighting the very best. Third place in the Paris tournament, which is the toughest one to get a medal in, and there is another opportunity for him to get to a major final here.
What I like about Ashley's performance today thus far is that he's been quite concentrated, calm, and not making any huge mistakes, or not putting him out there ready. Maybe I spoke too soon. But not he doesn't showboat anymore. I have to say that. But you know, he doesn't put himself in precarious situations, and he's being quite closed, and I like that. I like that.
Yeah, I think there's always a problem, isn't there, when you know the showboating has to come to an end to a degree, and then you know it's all right being confident, but there's a difference when it's directed confidence. So one extreme right, the other one extreme left here. Ashley McKenzie is the left-hander, but he does go right as well. He's got a Seatoshi that he's developing on the right. Can't understand that. I don't really get that either. I don't think they were both attacking. I don't think the referee wanted to give that.
I wouldn't have. Yeah, I wouldn't have said that. But unfortunately, he's got to use it like a fire under his bum, and maybe open it up a little bit more now. Nice Sagation.
We're looking for the counter there, McKenzie. He now has two Shidos on the board. Of course, we know that one more, and there's going to be is going to be Honsokamaki, so he'll have to just bite the bullet, and in he goes. I often talk about, feeling the danger. You can see here that he doesn't want to feel it. He doesn't want it. He can feel the danger from Mishvidabadze. It's going to go into golden score. All those penalties will be carried over.
And straight into golden score. You have to have a lot of puff in order to carry on, especially at this level. We're fighting world champion level. You've got to keep it consistent. Right, so Ashley's got to grip up. He can't afford this third one, and he's not showing any kind of fight into it. He really needs to. Now's the time to maybe try. There we are. Just get in there and become part of the fray.
I think it is. We can watch it, can't we? And I said that he feels danger. He's going to lose it on this now. So Mackenzie won't go through, and he'll be disappointed
he's just
with this.
Sidestepped and won too many, I think.
Well, they're going to look at it again. The British coach, of course, up, and of course they're not going to be happy with, if it is Honsokamaki or a third penalty. It'll be all the way down to the two judges at the side as well as the referee. Video referee might step in, but I doubt it. I thought that was
it's all about intention, isn't it,
yeah,
Neil? I mean, I believe he intended to get that throw. It's too bad with all that work put in.
No, this is going to carry on. So they're going to carry this on.
Maybe they heard us.
They did. They definitely did. Well, they're just down here, just below us, so they did hear us. So no mistakes. And Ashley Mackenzie knows that.
Okay, all right. So, you know what? We can give him a Hail Mary now.
It's true.
So off you go. You got to use it.
Yeah.
Got to use it. Get your head in the game and engage. He's making it way too easy.
Well, like I say, this is an ideal opportunity now. You see this is a situation where did the Russian direct him enough? He didn't. But he didn't.
Okay.
For me, definitely not. Because now you have to get more direction and you have to get
more impetus, more
more impetus and power. That's it. That's finished. That will be it. That for me was the one. That for me was the one. Oh, he gets away with it.
They're not listening anymore, Neil.
Well, you know what? I'm glad he didn't. I mean, obviously, but I just think that it's attacking without the hands.
But Mishvidabadze hasn't had to do much in this whole match.
This is why they didn't give it, because Mishvidabadze is just waiting for the penalty. And it's for the wrong reasons. And you're talking about intention.
True enough.
2 times now. Mishvidabadze is looking, saying, well, what about that one then?
Let's end this.
Yeah. And they have to understand, these fighters, that they can't play for penalties. They have to understand that they've got to go for a score.
Well, I think he's just clicked in that it's not going to be the way he wants it to run.
Yeah, it's Mackenzie that's intending to attack. Mishvidabadze just playing defensive. Oh, I like it. I think it's good decisions from the referees, this, because, and coaches as well have to know that it can't just go for the penalties.
It's not the game.
Well, obviously, he's physically the stronger at this stage.
See this. This isn't going to do him any favor.
Now then, that's it. There is no doubting that. Mishvidabadze attacks him and
just wore Ashley Mackenzie down, didn't he?
But the thing is, he could have done that before, and it was the first positive attack.
Yeah.
And the first positive attack was the one that scored. Mackenzie won't, mind that. Ashley Mackenzie will at least accept it, and they gave him plenty of chances. That's for sure. So he's going to go through Mishvidabadze against Takato, and that is a great prospect of a great final. So in the end, it was, well, was it Uchimata Makakomi anyway? But whatever it was enough to take Mackenzie over for the Wazari. So, what can I say? We've just finished the morning session, and so we've got some really interesting confrontations about to go forth, and we've got some surprises, one or two, but mainly I think 60 kilos. Of course, we've got Mishvidabadze and we've got Takato have worked their way through to the finals, and that's going to be, well,
Pretty spectacular.
Pretty
I think.
spectacular.
Yeah.
Under 57 kilos category.
Yay. That's
yes.
all right, isn't it?
All Canadian.
And on our first day, fabulous.
And on our first day as well. Under 48 kilos category, well, we've got Koga, Pareto. What have we got here? So Koga against Costa, Pareto failing to get through to the final. Koga, young Japanese fighter, just coming through.
I've not seen her before.
No, well, I hadn't either. And but you know, one of the juniors that's put into this category just to get experience. She's in the final. You know, such is the depth.
Unbelievable. Such is the depth. That's it.
Such is the
That's
depth.
Craziness.
It is absolutely crazy. Under 52 kilos category. Let's just have a little look at the under 52s. Primo against Delgado, and so we've, you know, it was a bit unpredictable. Under 52 kilos could have gone either way. That's going to be a good final. And the last one, just looking at under 66 kilos, and who we've got in the under 66, Gambold, who was the ranked number one. He's going to be up there against Kenneth Van Gansbeek.
Can I be a
Belgium.
really? Oh,
yes.
yay,
No,
Kenneth.
you can say it.
Bravo. We got a soft spot for Kenneth. He used to coach.
Yes.
Kenneth, really pleased, so pleased that he's come to this final. That's fabulous.
So we've got all the finals and all the medal matches still to come. It's been great to be here in Montreal for the very first Grand Prix tournament ever held here. Everything is going according to plan, almost. For some athletes, they might differ in opinions, yeah. Right? Okay. But so from Anthony, who was with me most of the morning, and from Nikki and from myself, until a little bit later on where we've got all the medal matches, it's goodbye for now.
Ciao.